Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're doing a deep dive today on something I found super interesting, IBM's strategy for winning the enterprise AI game. And guess what? It's all about thinking small.
Ooh.
Yeah. We're basing this deep dive on an article by Timothy Green from The Motley Fool, and let me tell you, it's full of surprises.
Hmm. It really does seem to challenge the current AI narrative, doesn't it? It seems like every day another company is announcing a brand new AI model with more parameters than stars in the
I
galaxy.
know, right? It's a total race to build the biggest, most powerful AI, but IBM's going in a different direction completely.
Interesting.
They're focusing on smaller, more accessible AI models like their new Granite 3.0 series. It maxes out at 8 billion parameters.
Okay.
Now, 8 billion is still a lot,
Oh, yeah, sure.
but compared to some of these models out there with hundreds of billions of parameters, it's tiny.
Right, and that's what's so interesting here. Building these massive AI models takes a ton of computing power, special hardware, and honestly, a ton of money.
Yeah.
Most businesses just can't afford that. What IBM's doing is saying, hey, what if we built AI that companies could actually use?
So help me understand this. Why is smaller better? Is it just about cost, or is there something else going on?
Well, cost is a big part of it. The article actually mentions that IBM estimates their fine-tuned Granite 3.0 models could cost 3 to 23 times less to run than those larger general-purpose models.
Wow.
Huge difference in operating costs, especially long-term. But it's not just about saving money.
That's what I was thinking. It can't just be about being cheaper.
Exactly. These smaller models are also a lot easier to customize. IBM's all about tailoring these models to fit a company's data and its needs. Imagine buying a suit off the rack versus getting one custom made.
Okay.
The ready-made suit might be fine, but that custom one's going to fit you perfectly and make you look sharp.
I like that analogy. So you're saying that training these smaller models on a company's data makes them super effective at certain tasks, maybe even as good as the huge general-purpose models.
That's exactly what IBM is claiming. And that's a total game changer for businesses. It means they don't necessarily need to buy the most powerful AI they can find. They just need AI that works for them and what they need it to do. And it gets even more interesting. They're not just making AI models smaller, they're making them more accessible in terms of hardware.
What do you mean? You need some kind of supercomputer to run AI, right?
That's what most people think, but IBM's saying that's not always true. They're working on AI models that can actually run on regular CPUs. You know, the processors in normal computers.
Wait, so you're saying businesses could run these AI models on their own IT infrastructure? They wouldn't need to buy all that specialized hardware.
That's the whole idea. It's about making it easier for businesses to adopt AI. IBM wants AI to be possible for any company, not just the ones with huge budgets.
That's pretty amazing. It could open up so many possibilities for businesses that might have been scared to try AI because it seemed too expensive or complicated.
Exactly. And that's where this AI Sherpa idea comes in. Remember that from the article. It's not just giving them the technology, it's about helping them through the whole adoption process.
Oh yeah, you're right. The article said a lot of IBM's AI success comes from their consulting. They're not just selling AI, they're selling expertise.
Right. Think of it like this. You're a company that's been around for a while. You have tons of data, but no idea how to use it. IBM comes in not just with AI models, but a team of experts who can help you figure out the best ways to use AI. They'll train the models on your data and show you how to work them into what you already do.
So they're like AI consultants,
Hmm?
helping businesses actually figure out how to use this tech to solve their problems and reach their goals.
Exactly. They're like a guide helping businesses make their way through the AI world, which can be pretty complicated. That's a huge deal for companies who might feel overwhelmed by AI.
This whole approach from IBM is starting to make a lot of sense. They're not chasing headlines with huge, powerful models. They're making AI practical, accessible, and affordable for the businesses that need it.
It's a smart strategy. They're basically saying, we get it. Not every company needs a supercomputer running AI. What you need is AI that works for you, that solves your problems, and that you can afford. And we can help you get there.
This is making me rethink the whole AI landscape. It's not just about raw power anymore. It's about finding the right tools for the job and knowing how to use them.
That's a huge change in how we think about AI. It's not just about the tech, it's about the human element, the expertise, the strategy.
So looking at the big picture, what does this mean for the future of AI in business?
That's a great question. I think what IBM is doing could be a sign of things to come. Maybe we'll see less focus on building giant AI models and more on making AI accessible, affordable, and usable for real business problems.
So instead of a race to build the biggest AI, it's a race to make AI useful.
Exactly. And that could have a huge impact on how businesses think about and adopt AI in the next few years.
This is all really fascinating. But what about IBM? If they're going for smaller, more accessible AI, does that mean they're falling behind in the AI race?
That's where things get interesting. We need to look at the big picture of AI and what IBM is really trying to do. It might actually be the opposite. Focusing on practicality could give them a real edge. If a business wants to try out AI, they're probably going to go with a company that has an affordable solution, something easy to use and tailored to their needs.
Makes sense. It's less scary, right? You're not spending a ton on hardware and software you don't even know how to use.
Exactly. IBM's making it easier to adopt AI. They're making it possible for businesses to try AI and see how it helps them without spending a fortune. And once they see those positive results, they'll probably stick with IBM and keep investing.
So it's like a long-term plan. Build trust by being the company that makes AI easy to use for businesses who might have been unsure before.
Exactly. And that could be huge for IBM in the future, especially as the AI market keeps growing.
This really changes how we think about AI. It's not about having the biggest, most powerful AI anymore. It's about finding the right tool and knowing how to use it.
And that's a big change. It's not just about the tech, it's about the people, the expertise, the strategy behind it.
This is really interesting. But if IBM is focusing on smaller, more accessible AI, does that mean they're falling behind in the AI race?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? Will we see other companies doing what IBM's doing, making AI easier to use? Or will it still be all about building the biggest AI?
Only time will tell, right?
Definitely. But one thing's for sure, what IBM's doing is really interesting. They're not just following trends, they're thinking long term and setting themselves up to be leaders in AI for business.
I think we've all learned a lot today about IBM and their unique approach to AI. It's giving me a lot to think about, that's for sure.
Me too. The big takeaway for me is that the AI world is always changing. What's new and exciting today might be old news tomorrow. We got to stay informed, be open to new ideas, and never stop questioning things.
Totally agree. So to wrap up this deep dive, here's a final thought. What if IBM is right and focusing on making AI practical leads to way more businesses using it? What kind of world would that create? How would it affect our businesses, our industries, our lives? It's something to think about as we watch this technology keep changing the world.
Don't forget to check out the show notes for a link to Timothy Green's article on The Motley Fool, plus some other resources we think you'll like.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of IBM and enterprise AI. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those brains buzzing.